Hi everyone and welcome to the channel. Today I would like to discuss the U.S. national debt and my idea on what we can do to resolve it, that being the U.S. Citizens Government Debt Forgiveness Package. Currently the U.S. national debt is projected to be $34 trillion as of December 16, 2023, and here down below I have what the real number is at the time. Real quickly I would like to discuss a few false facts that the website states, where it says each citizen owes $100,000 towards the debt, and that each taxpayer owes $260,000 towards the debt. Here you can see a breakdown of the debt and what is owed to each entity. So for internally here inside the US, the individual and institution fund is owed $14.4 trillion, Social Security is owed $6.1 trillion, Civil Service Retirement is owed $2.06 trillion, military retirement is owed $700 billion, and then US oil exports, that fund is owed $500 billion. Moving over to the right, you can see what the government owes foreign countries such as China and Hong Kong. They owe them $3.2 trillion. Japan is owed $2.1 trillion. The UK pretty much $500 billion. And then just to save time, I added together Brazil and all other nations and wound up with $4.4 trillion. In this note here, what I mean by the note is the debt clock is continuously changing, so these numbers will continuously change. Here I took two funds that U.S. citizens have a stake in and are owed money from. So I did the U.S. Individual and Institution Fund along with the Social Security Fund, added them both together, ended up with $20.6 trillion. In the middle I state $20.6 trillion would be the potential amount of debt eligible U.S. citizens and institutions here in America could allow the government to clear from its books, which in turn will knock down the total national debt to $13.3 trillion. And then at the bottom I'm just stating there are other funds and institutions the government owes money to, and if we as citizens allow them to do so, the government can clear those from its books, and that'll also help knock down the national debt. Now that we've broken down the debt, let's discuss one way the government can help resolve it by offering each citizen a one-time tax-free non-debt collectible check. These checks will be based off of your age range and if you worked and paid taxes in the past. By choosing to take these checks, you choose to opt out of Social Security, Medicaid, food stamps, and other federal programs, but you also won't have to pay taxes into these programs anymore, thus saving you more money over the course of a year. Now, if you choose not to take these checks and stay opted into Social Security and Medicaid, you run the gambit of hoping that the next generation pays enough taxes in order for the government to fund these programs, thus funding your retirement. Once again, just to re-clarify, majority of the debt is owed to you, the American taxpayer, and U.S. institutions. So in order to resolve this, what I propose is that in order for U.S. citizens to forgive their portion of $20.6 trillion out of $34 trillion owed, is that the government pays each eligible native-born citizen a one-time tax-free non-debt collectible payment. Here in the middle, for citizens that are aged 14 through 24, what I propose is that if they are employed, have worked in the past and paid taxes, is that they should receive a cash payment of $25,000 in order to be cashed out of Social Security, Medicaid, and other federal programs. For citizens that are aged 25 to 30, they should receive a cash payment of $75,000. And then going on down to the bottom, citizens that are aged 31 through 48 should receive a cash payment of $150,000. For category 3, citizens that are aged 49 to 150 that are employed, have worked in the past and paid taxes, they should receive a cash payment of $250,000 in order to be cashed out of Social Security, Medicaid, and other U.S. federal programs. Once again, just to reiterate here in the middle, these three categories listed above are for native-born U.S. citizens. In the next video, I'll provide a few categories breaking down what non-native-born U.S. citizens should receive in order to be cashed out of Social Security, Medicaid, and other U.S. federal programs.